Welcome to Washington Softball Stadium, where the Washington Demons softball team is getting set for their first game of a doubleheader here tonight against Ottumwa. You're watching live here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network, powered by Washington County Hospital and Clinics. The Demons, fresh off a doubleheader away from home, took down Cardinal 8-1 and 10-2 on Wednesday. As we welcome you into the pregame show, brought to you by the A&C Williams Agency of Farm Bureau Financial Services here in Washington. I'm Jack Knowlton, my partner Joel Keller. Joel, this is the home opener here for Washington. Obviously, a couple of games on the road for the Demons, bouncing back with 2 wins over Cardinal, lost to Clear Creek Amana in their first game. We're excited here to get the home season started for Washington, Joel.
Yeah, it's about time, It's end of May. I think, May 30th right now, so it's time to get softball season started and have a great summer.
Ready to get into June, ready to get that summer weather going, and it's the Demons in the circle. First is Colby Greiner, getting things underway here. They're facing Ottumwa. The Bulldogs, Jordy Mason leading off for them. Ottumwa coming in 2-0 themselves, had a doubleheader over their Alliance Conference rival Des Moines East yesterday. Don't play their first home game until Monday, as that one's in there for a strike for Greiner.
They got to wait a little bit. Had to travel all the way out here to Washington for the game before the weekend starts.
Mason showing bunt here.
Now we're going to see that a lot with this Ottumwa team. They're not going to hit the ball out of the park by any means. Last year they had a couple of home runs total. Started off by Samantha Weeks. She had 5 last year, but other than that, not a lot of power in these bats, but they've got a lot of speed around the bases. So that's where this game's going to be won and lost for Washington. If they can keep Ottumwa off the bases, that'll be key.
1-2 pitch is high, and count goes to 2-2. Mason last year, 14 hits for this Ottumwa team. They were finished under 500 for the first time in a while, as that one is inside. Count goes to full here at 3-2.
Here we go, big moment. Gotta get a strike here. Don't want to walk the leadoff batter in this game.
Payoff to Mason. She slaps that one foul down the third baseline. So Mason staying dug in here, was shown bunt early in the count, but trying to, like you said, Joel, get the Bulldogs off to a strong start in their first at-bat. Mason, just a freshman, play out in right field for Ottumwa. Big moment for her as the leadoff hitter. The payoff pitch is in there for a strike, and Greiner gets off to a strong start with her first at-bat faced for Washington.
It's a great pitch by Greiner right there. Just kind of drops right into the strike zone, and it looks like a ball, so Mason doesn't really want to swing at it, but called strike 3.
Greiner will hit second when Washington comes up to bat. Up now, Kaysen Thompson. That one in there for a strike, painting the outside of the zone for Thompson.
And you mentioned how Ottumwa historically have been great. Had a tough season last year, but they're bringing in new interim head coach Frank Huston. Ottumwa knows him well. I mean, he was there for 46 seasons before retiring in 2019. They brought a new coach who ended up just resigning this offseason. That one hits fouled in. And now Hudson can't really avoid Ottumwa. He's got to come back.
Yeah, it's not every team gets a coach who's has that much experience to come in as your quote-unquote interim. So, yeah, the right man maybe to guide the ship back in the right direction for Ottumwa as the count goes to 0-2 here for Kaysen Thompson.
And that's exactly right. If you're going through a tough time in the program, who better to bring back than...
That one chopped right back at Greiner. She'll chuck it over to first for out number 2. Thompson getting some contact in there. Samantha Weeks coming up now, hitting designated player here for Ottumwa.
This is the power bat that I was talking about earlier. She didn't hit too much for average. She hit 236, which will do just fine if you're adding a lot of pop to your bat. But, it's someone that Grinder's going to want to just avoid her bat so far. Throw the breaking balls, make her swing and miss.
Weeks led the Bulldogs in total bases last year. She chops that one. Foul will go down to 0-2. Weeks, you mentioned 20 RBI, 5 home runs, all led Ottumwa. Can she get a rally going? Grinder's done a good job getting ahead in the count in this first inning. That one outside. Count will go to 1-2.
I like it. Going up top, you just got Weeks to chase that one up high, too. So why not go right back to it?
Grinder didn't pitch in Washington's last game, their second of the doubleheader against Cardinal, which they won 10-2, so a little bit fresh here, but that one sails high. We go to 2-2.
And Grinder, she's one of those players that, for Washington, if she can really get going like she did last year, it's going to be big for them to have that 1-2 punch to pair with Isabel Salazar.
And she gets Weeks swinging in a 1-2-3 inning. Good start here for Washington. We will kick it to a break, go to the bottom of the first here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
At Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction, we provide everything from design to complete installation of your kitchen cabinets. For small town service with competitive prices, Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction are here for you.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation, Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Welcome back to Washington Softball Stadium, where it was the Demons went a 1-2-3 inning. Colby Griner getting her first 3 batters of the game out. Jack Knowlton, Joel Keller. So we're up for the top of the second. Look at a starting lineup for Washington, who is due up here. And what a leadoff hitter they have in Leighton Salazar, the shortstop, one of the best players offensively emerging in Washington history. Has had quite the career so far, including last season where she led the team in hits, runs, was singles, doubles, and triples leader as well. She's followed by Ella Griner and Colby Griner, who will bat the 1-2-3 to the top of the order here. Joel, a talented Washington offense, led, of course, by Salazar at that shortstop spot.
Yeah, I mean, she got on base over half the time last season, which is just absurd, especially when you're starting every single game that's played, have 126 at-bats, and you're getting 66 hits. It's absurd to have. There's another one.
She gets things started with a hit, chops that one into lefty, gets behind left fielder out there. And Salazar getting extra bases, a leadoff double.
Salazar, she hasn't had the start to the season that she's really wanted to coming off last year. She was 2 for 12 coming into this game, but you're feeling good when you swing at the first pitch of the ball game, the first pitch your team sees, and you can lace that one in the left field.
Huge start for the leadoff hitter, Salazar. Her second double of the season is Ella Griner up now. The center fielder for Washington takes the first one inside for a strike. Griner 2 hits and 10 at-bats so far, so also a bit of a slower start for Washington. This is a team that has prided itself on its offense.
Yeah, I mean, last year she also batted up near 500 at 453, so you got to think she's going to be due for a couple hits here.
Chops that one up the middle towards short, and that throw is in time for out number 1.
Not a bad out by any means, because what she does, she moves Salazar over to third base, and now she's just 60 feet away from being the first run of the ball game, and grabbing that first run is huge, especially for Washington. You know, you're playing a team that's a couple classes up above you, and you can't let them grab the lead early.
Kason Thompson making the play at short for Ottumwa. And now the other Griner in this lineup for Washington, Colby Griner up. The 0-1 pitch is chopped foul, and Colby Griner down 0-2 here early in this at-bat. She as well 2 hits and 10 appearances so far for Washington.
Yeah, and she's in a great spot right now. As she's in the circle, you know, she can do herself a favor and grab her that lead, give her some room to work with when she comes around and faces the 4, 5, 6 batters of this Bulldog squad.
That one swung on and driven foul, so Griner will do it again here. 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, and a first strikeout of the game here for the Bulldogs.
Now batting the catcher, number 10, Olivia Anderson.
Addie Thompson in the circle gets her first strikeout of the game, and cleanup hitter Olivia Anderson now will try and get Salazar home from third. First one away, and a 1-0 count to Anderson, catcher for this Washington team.
Yeah, if you're the Demons, you don't want to let Thompson feel good in the circle. You know, she can be shut down. I mean, last year, her freshman year, she had a 2.28 ERA.
That one chopped into left field, and it will drive Salazar home. And Washington takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting first baseman, number 14, Bella Salazar.
That's just great hitting by Anderson out there. Don't want to do too much with it, but she gets a ball she likes, and she knows all she needs is a base hit to bring home the first run in the ball game, and able to loop it over the head of the shortstop and get that runner home and give them a 1-0 lead.
Anderson has set the tone. That's her 6th hit of the year. Leads this Washington team in OPS, and now Bella Salazar up. Salazar, first one, takes it inside for a ball. Bella Salazar, 2 hits and 10 at-bats for her as well. Has a pair of singles through Washington's first 3 games of the season. Takes ball 2.
And she's also another great returner for this team. Batted .348. Again, starting in all 36 games. I mean, this is why Washington is coming into the season ranked number 10 in Class 3A in the state. They have all these returners. They only lost a couple of players, Riley Live and Emery Walton. So they've got a lot of the starters back and a lot of experience coming in this year. And, you know, they're still pretty young, too. There's not a ton of seniors on this team, a lot of juniors and sophomores making up the squad.
Salazar chops that foul on the first base line. We'll make it a 2-2 count here for Bella Salazar. That one chopped foul over the Washington dugout.
And this is a great at-bat. You know, you got 2 strikes on you. You know, you're really thinking don't strike out in your head. But she's doing a good job making contact and just getting rid of these pitches that she doesn't think she can put in play and just getting to the next pitch.
2-2 inside. The count is full here to Salazar against Addie Thompson, the most experienced returning pitcher for this Ottumwa team. Had a 6-13 record last year, but only a 2.28 ERA, gave up 109 hits. Here's the 3-2, chopped foul down the left side. We'll do it again.
See if she can straighten it out right here.
Payoff pitch. And the at-bat continues here. You mentioned elongating the at-bat. Salazar doing just that here at this 5 spot for Washington.
You know, she's been fouling it off both ways too. No, you know, she's been a little late, a little early. Now she just needs to time one up and give it a drive.
Appeared in all 36 games, started all 36 games as well for Washington, like you mentioned, Joel. Another payoff pitch to Salazar. And another one-shot foul behind the Washington dugout.
I mean, this is just an outstanding at-bat. And it's one of those at-bats that you really hope it ends up finishing in a hit. And typically those long ABs do end up with the hitter getting on base somehow, some way.
See if anyone beats Salazar's record in this doubleheader tonight. Another one-chopped foul.
I mean, you got to think she's on it, right? She's seen quite a few pitches. This next one, if she gets it in the zone, I bet she tees it up.
Yeah, her barrel's just a bit off for making good contact, like you said, and chopping one into play here. The payoff again. That one's high, and Salazar, well, it doesn't end in a hit, but she'll take her base, and runners will advance. Chance to keep this first inning going. It's a 1-0 lead for the Demons, with Hallie Cutterback coming up batting in this 6th spot.
You know, that's what happens when you go in a long at-bat. You're just waiting for the pitcher to make a mistake, whether that's they throw a meatball in the zone or they launch one over the head of their catcher and give you a free bag. And really, Ottumwa's lucky that Anderson wasn't able to make it over to third, too, on that one. You know, if Anderson jumped out off the bag a little quicker, she might have been able to stretch it to an extra 60 feet.
Thompson's second pitch is inside, and it'll be 1-1 to Cutterback. Thompson, I mentioned, was just a freshman last season, but very, very experienced for just being in her second year with this Bulldogs program, and has to deal here to Cutterback. That one a bit high, ball number 2.
And I'm sure we'll talk about this a lot more tonight, especially with Game 2 coming up later. But this is where Washington really benefits having the 2 pitchers in this doubleheader. I mean, Thompson is their go-to ace for the Bulldogs, whereas Washington, they've got 2 pitchers in the circle who can really both take that ace role in Salazar and Colby Griner. And it's really just impressive, and it's something they're going to have to live off of all year.
Bella Salazar has started a pair of games, including Washington's last one against Cardinal, as that one's in for ball 4, and the bases are loaded here with 2 outs, and a real golden opportunity for Washington with Natalie Hartman coming up to bat, the third baseman. It's just a meaning here for Ottumwa. Brenna Griffiths is the catcher for the Bulldogs, going up to just check with Thompson, try and get her settled in. And if Thompson obviously trying to just tell her to settle down and get locked in here, try and get out of this inning, it could certainly be damage averted, but Washington, real opportunity here. And a good first pitch. Thompson started things off with Cutterback with a strike, but wasn't able to finish the at-bat, but she does the same here for Hartman.
Yeah, a little bit less experience in the batter's box now.
That one chopped down, and a diving catch is made. A great play that time for Ottumwa. Lily Garrison, the second baseman, the sophomore, ends the inning. 3 bases stranded for Washington. We'll go to a quick break here and come back with the top of the second here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Your adventure starts here. Capper Auto Group Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will get you ready in style. Meet with our friendly and experienced team to find a vehicle that gets you on the road, and rely on our service shop to keep you there. Capper Auto Group. See yourself the Capper experience.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you with a flexible financing you need to install that all-season room or remodel your kitchen with a home equity line of credit. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Welcome back to Washington Softball Stadium, where it's a 1-0 lead for the Demons here over the visiting Ottumwa Bulldogs. It's the first baseman for the Bulldogs, Hunter Caldwell, up going against Colby Griner, who had a 1-2-3 inning in her first appearance in the circle for Washington.
Yeah, Caldwell is one of the most experienced batters on this Bulldog team. She's a senior, and last year started and played in 30 games. She batted .207, but she'll be able to get them a hit if needed, and really just should be providing some of the best at-bats that we see today for the Ottumwa Bulldogs.
Yeah, Caldwell certainly a capable hitter, is in a 1-1 count here against Griner. A pitch high for ball 2. That one swung on, chopped into left, and rolls all the way to the wall. It'll be an extra base hit here for Caldwell. So you called it there, Joel. Extra bases for Hunter Caldwell. And a leadoff double for the Bulldogs. Good start to the inning for them after going 1-2-3 in the first.
Yeah, and Cuddyback just didn't get a good jump on that one. I think it kind of caught her by surprise, and the wind's kind of flying out to left field too, so the ball's going to fly a little differently than you'd think. So it's a tough play out there, a sharp line drive, but a good piece of hitting by the Bulldogs. And when you go down 1-0, the best thing you can do for the team is get that runner in scoring position to tie it right back up the next inning with no outs.
Saw Leighton Salazar, the leadoff hitter for Washington, hit one in the exact same spot out there in left to start for Washington, as Lexi Ferguson, the third baseman, showing bunt here, looking like she's going to try and bunt. You can also do the slap hit, of course, in softball to advance with the runner. Ferguson pulls the bunt back that time.
Great eye here. It's a lot easier to see the strikes and balls when you're set up, squaring up to bunt, because you're not focused on giving it a ride. You're just focused on putting the bat where the ball is.
And takes a strike inside. So 3-1, still hitters count for Ferguson, who leads this Bulldogs team in an unfortunate category, hit by pitches so far in the 2-game season. He's had 4 and drops that bunt down and accomplishes exactly what she wants. The throw is in time. So we'll be out number 1, but mission accomplished there if you're Ferguson, advancing Caldwell to third.
Yeah, the Bulldogs will take that any day of the week. In fact, they signed up for that. They are willing to give up the out there to put the runner on third, because you just have a much higher percentage of chance of scoring that run from third than second.
Cami Poles initially squared a bunt before pulling it back, swung on and missed there. Poles, the left fielder, appeared in 29 games, made 29 starts last year for Ottumwa. Hit 139 on the year. As the throwback is over the head. That time it was cut off in left field. Anderson tried to throw it back to third to catch Ferguson out there, but keeping her on third, keeping her on her toes.
Yeah, I got to give a massive shout out to Cuddyback. Out in the outfield, and I know you can get kind of lazy. You don't want to go back up every throw, and it's just something you have to do for situations like that. If Cuddyback isn't moving down by the left field line, that's scoring a run for sure. It's a guarantee, but she was there, and she made it a play where Ottumwa really didn't want to risk losing that runner on a play like that, especially because the runner was already diving back. It would have been really tough for Caldwell to get up to her feet and then sprint towards home.
Yeah, credit to Cuddyback out there in left field for Washington. You're absolutely right. Could have been an unfortunate error there for the Demons if she wasn't ready for it. Still a chance, though, with 1 out in this inning for Ottumwa and Poles to drive in a run. Pulls the bunt back, and another pitch high. Count will go to 2-2.
A lot more balls thrown this inning than the first, and if you're Griner, you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself when there's a runner on third. You just got to pitch to the batter, especially the way she looked in the first inning. I mean, none of the outcomes she had in the first inning would score the run here. So if she can just get the breaking ball going, get some good spin on it, she'll be good.
Count is full. That one is tipped off the bat of Poles, back over the umpire. We'll do it again with a full count.
And Poles was way behind that ball, too. If I'm out there in the circle right now, I'm going right back to that pitch and trying blowing it past her.
Seemed to rise a little bit, that pitch for Griner. That one inside, it's rolled foul. I think it deflected off of Poles there. So stayed foul despite rolling kind of right along the line. So we'll do it again. Big moment here in the top of the second. Ottumwa looking to tie this game. Payoff pitch for Griner is high, and runner will stay on third, but Poles will take her base.
Now batting the catcher, number 31, Brianna Griffiths.
Brianna Griffiths wearing number 31. The catcher had to meet with her pitcher, Hattie Thompson, in the first inning. Griffiths herself leads this team in runs as 23. Led this team in runs, I should say, last year in 17 appearances. Taking a bit of a bigger role as that one paints the outside corner for strike number 1.
Yeah, so she's definitely used more as a runner last year, and you don't see that out of your catcher too often to have some speed, but it just brings a bit of duality there.
Lays down that bunt, the throw home, not in time. And Ottumwa able to score. It was Salazar had a decision to make with the bunt chopped toward her and chose to throw home to try to get the lead runner out, but not able to, and Ottumwa ties this up, and still just 1 out here with runners on the corners.
Well, there you go, and we were talking about yesterday at baseball, when you get a bunt and you're on the corners, you sometimes you want to get greedy and throw the runner out at home or try and turn double play, but right there is the reason why you just kind of take the out at first. That run's going to score regardless. So the runners will advance there, but the runner's going to score regardless there. So just go and get the out. And then you'd have 2 outs now and runners on instead of 1 out and 2 runners in score position.
Yeah, and that pitch high, well done there by Poles and Griffiths to see it, and runners able to advance. So runners on second and third, and Ben Oberman just meeting with his pitcher Griner here to try and settle her down. Had such a good first inning, but a real opportunity here for Ottumwa to take command of the game early. Avery Frankie batting here, the center fielder for the Bulldogs. Frankie, 108 at-bats, started all 32 games last year for Ottumwa. 1-0 pitch is swung and missed. Feels like a pretty critical at-bat here, Joel, with Frankie up and an opportunity, like I said, for Ottumwa to take this lead back, and Washington defense have to be on it here to try and get at least an out. That one's tipped back, so it'll go to 1-2 here to Frankie.
Yeah, and I think that's why Oberman came out into the circle and had a talk with his pitcher. I mean, it's early in the season. It's been a while since you've been in one of these moments, especially against a team like Ottumwa. That's Class 5A, and you already got the 1 run, and they were able to respond right back and tie it up.
That one inside and a called strike 3.
Well, batting second base, number 15.
And that's how you bounce back.
Yeah,
right
Griner taking care of business that time.
3-pitch strikeout? Why not?
So the 9-hitter, Lily Garrison, with 2 outs now, and Griner trying to get out of this inning as Garrison swung on and missed there. Feels like a bit more command since that mound meeting already for Griner.
Yeah, probably just a confidence boost out there in the circle. Just telling, Overman's probably just telling his pitcher, hey, like, you got this. You're a beast. You know, you had a great season last year. You've got all this experience. Just go out there and do your thing.
One to Garrison is inside for strike number 2. Garrison in her junior year appeared in 29 games. Didn't flash too many big pitching numbers. That one inside for strike 3, and a great response for Griner as the Bulldogs strand 2 and do pick up a run. So Washington going into the break tied 1-1. They'll come up here when we come back on the Southeast Iowa Video Network.
Breaking news.
Are you looking for a sports show with intensity?
And we'll see you in court, Mark Cuban, you broke bum.
Are you looking for a sports show with passion?
Moment of silence for the name Wells Fargo Arena.
And are you looking for a sports show with whatever this is?
And today we are counting down Justin Bieber's top 10 girlfriends. That's right.
Make sure to check out Andy and Hunter every Thursday on Prep Sports Plus, breaking down all the high school sports from across the Southeast Iowa region, talking about all your favorite schools such as Washington, Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Waco, Winfield Mount Union, Pekin, and so much more. Make sure to check out Prep Sports Plus every Thursday at noon on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
Welcome back to Washington Softball Stadium. 1-1 here between Washington and Ottumwa as we get set for the bottom of the second. It was the Bulldogs able to equalize, but stranded 2 runners on after Ella Griner initially looked like she might lose control of the inning, Joel, and was able to lock back in and get out of it.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see out of your pitcher, you know. Griner's coming in. She's a sophomore now. She has that year of experience last year, and now is when you start to kind of grow a lot. You build off that year, and you just try and continue to build each year, and one of the things that how you can build is in those situations, you got runners in scoring position. You don't allow anyone to come across. There she allowed 1, and she had runners on second and third with 1 out. She definitely could have given up this lead, but instead she gets a couple of Ks to end the inning, and the game's still tied here, and she's given her offense a chance to grab back the lead in the same inning.
So Kalia Gertis, the designated player up here for Washington to start the bottom of the second, making her second start. Just an 8th grader as well, playing on the varsity team. Definitely a lot of pressure for her. Is batting .667 to start, has a couple of hits in 3 at-bats.
Yeah, she's definitely played her way into this lineup. Started 1 game, and she's gotten 2 for 3 at the plate. She scored a run as well and has had 2 RBIs. So, you love to see it out of an 8th grader. You got 4 more years after this with her. It's gonna be fun to watch how she develops and turns into a future star for the Demons.
Swings and misses that time on a good pitch by Addie Thompson. It's a 1-2 count here to Gertis to lead off the second for Washington. That one chopped up the middle, collected, and gobbled up, and the play made that time. Well done that time by Lily Garrison. Struck out Tien last inning, but has made a couple of good plays over there at second. Had the diving catch to get out of the first for Ottumwa and able to slide and make that play for out number 1.
Yeah, she's flashing the leather, and it's going to be important for this team. Not just in this game, but in the second game of the doubleheader where the Bulldogs don't have their ace out there in the circle. So the defense is going to have to step up, and we've definitely seen that from her at second base.
A pitch outside, 2-1 count here to Reagan Miller. Miller swings and misses that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Miller. Chance for 2 quick outs for Ottumwa. here in the bottom of the second. Doubleheader here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network. These two teams will go at it right away again, right after this one's in the books. That one chopped foul toward the Washington dugout. So Miller, just a freshman, started every game for Washington so far, though. 5 at-bats, hasn't registered a hit yet, though. Walked twice. And the 1-2. That one's chopped over the pitcher and rolls into center, and there is the first hit of the year for Reagan Miller. She gets on base here with 1 out.
I think she heard you up here saying she had a hit.
The reverse announcer's jinx is what they call that. Normally we're blamed for missed free throws in basketball and errors in baseball and softball.
Oh, I know that well.
Back to the top of the order, it's Leighton Salazar here in the second. Led things off well with a double in the first, was driven home.
You know, the back of the order, too, this is exactly what you want out of them. Put some runners on base to set the table for the top of the order and let them go to work and bring you around.
That one chop foul off the foul pole. Back into play. 1-1 count here for Salazar, one of the best hitters in recent years for Washington. Last year, like Joel mentioned at the top, hit over 500 for the season. Just a vital weapon at the top of the order for this Demons team. She hits that one foul in the same spot.
She's definitely getting underneath the ball so far today. I mean, she had the fly ball out to left field that ended up getting down for extra bases, and these last 2 foul balls, you know, she's fouled it up and high and over the fence.
1-2, that pitch outside. Disciplined hitter can obviously see pitches like that and makes really good reads on the ball. That one outside again, so rising to a full count here for Leighton Salazar.
Yeah, that one's just a little easier to lay off than the other ones. See that one coming out of the hand and make the decision.
Payoff pitch is high, and 2 runners are on with 1 out for the Demons. So Ella Greiner back up for her second plate appearance of the game, grounded out on her first go-around. It's driven 3 runs in so far this season coming into this game, and lofts this one toward second. It'll be caught that time in a busy afternoon so far for Lily Garrison, but 2 outs here for Ottumwa, trying to get out of this inning unscathed. And Colby Greiner, the pitcher for Washington, an opportunity here with 2 outs, trying to advance some runners, maybe get Washington back out in front heading into the third.
Yeah, and last inning, able to get
Greiner drives that towards short, and it takes a deflection off the lead runner, Ella Greiner, I believe, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. So an unfortunate way to get it as Colby Greiner makes good contact on it, but the 3rd out of the inning. We'll take a break here, come back with the top of the 3rd here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Summer is here, and Fairway's got you covered all baseball and softball season long. With a large variety and low prices, Fairway is the easy home run choice for all your grocery needs. Make Fairway your home field advantage.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
Welcome back to Washington Softball Stadium, where we're still tied at 1 here toward coming into the top of the third. Colby Griner is still in the circle for the Demons. And Joel, an unfortunate way for Washington to end that third inning, stranding a few runners with that fielder's choice, taking a deflection off the lead runner. Washington will have to respond offensively, but first have to hold Ottumwa here at 1 at the top of third.
Yeah, that's what they got to focus on right here is just no runs for the Bulldogs. You don't want to go down against them because this is a Bulldog team, and they got a pitcher out there that can really just hold you at bay once they get that lead. They know how to play well without scoring a lot of runs because, I mean, that's what they did all last year.
So Jordy Mason back up, the leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs, grounded out in her first plate appearance. It's a 1-2-3 first inning for Colby Griner. See if she can do the same against the top of the order against the Bulldogs.
She used a couple strikeouts in the first inning. We'll see if she can miss some bats here.
That one attempt by Mason is lifted off of her bat at the backstop. See the third baseman for Washington here, Hartman, cheating way up, maybe anticipating a bunt attempt for a hit. 1-2 to Mason. He is high for ball number 2. That one chopped down and right to Hartman, and she's able to make the play for out number 1. Natalie Hartman, good anticipation there, Joel, and seemed to read that time what Mason was going to try and do with that kind of slap hit bunt, just try to tap it and beat the out, but unable to do so that time.
Yeah, the Demon defense was ready for that, and that really makes a play like that easier. Usually a short, choppy grounder can be tough because of how slow it rolls.
Kason Thompson up, drives that one into left, and it hooks out foul.
But yeah, when you're set up closer to the plate and you get that slow, choppy grounder, it's much easier to field it, take your time, and throw it over and beat the runner out for that out.
Thompson trying to prevent Joel from finishing his analysis with a near deep shot there, and some good contact on this first pitch, but down 0-1. Rolls that one toward third, and again, nearly stays fair, but curls foul.
She's just got to sit back and wait for it now. She's on it. She's seen it well. She's got 2 pretty strong foul balls, especially that first one. So all you got to do is sit back, wait just an extra beat, and then release the swing and watch it fly.
Thompson, a junior, led this team in hits and singles last season. Watches that one for ball 1. Here's the 1-2, and that one outside, ball number 2.
I like the thought out there, trying to get her to the chase. Just got to bring it in a little bit more, make it look a little more enticing before it breaks away from the plate.
Another one high, unable to drop that time for Griner. So count full to Thompson. Did lead this team in strikeouts as well last year, to your point. Maybe Griner sensing that in the scout and trying to get her to swing out one. Here's the 3-2, and that one in there for a strike number 3, and Griner does get Thompson out looking.
It's a great bounce back pitch. I mean, so far the first 2 at-bats of the inning, she's thrown 3 balls. So it's good to see that control coming back a little bit after she just kept missing by about 6 inches around the zone about every direction.
So a chance here for Griner to maybe go 1-2-3 in the top of the order 2 straight times as Sam Weeks, the designated player, up for the Bulldogs. Swung and missed that first one for strike 1. That one outside for ball. Weeks swings and misses at a 1-1, and Griner is 1 strike away from another 1-2-3 inning here.
She's done a really good job getting in front of the batter, just not quite having the two-strike punch-out stuff. Always missing by just a bit, just like we saw right there, which allows the batter to kind of get right back in it. Now it's an even count. Now it's a different hitting approach.
2-2 coming for Griner. That one misses in ball number 3, so another full count. Can Sam Weeks deliver a 2-out rallying shot, the home run leader last year for Ottumwa? Pitch to Weeks. Lifts that one out of play.
That one almost hung up enough for the Demons to catch up to it.
Yeah, Hartman was chasing that one down. Was a little bit out of our view over the dugout over there in third, so was waiting for a potential reaction from her Demon teammates out in the outfield, but we'll do it again here to Weeks. Payoff pitch is lofted toward right, and that one gets down, and Weeks with a 2-out single. And so some life here for the Bulldogs with 2 outs here in the top of the third.
Well, I really like what they were doing out there in right field. Mackenzie Messer starting out there for the Demons. And, you could attack that ball. You could go try and dive for it. But if you miss it, that runner's taking 2 for sure, maybe even 3. And with 2 outs, you just want to keep that runner at first. Give up the single because, another single wouldn't kill you. You keep that runner aboard. But, if you let the runner get to second or third, you give them some momentum, get a 2-out rally going potentially.
Messer, that flex player, not batting, but playing out in right for the Demons. Just unable to come up with that one. As Hunter Caldwell back up, doubled in the second. That one swung on and missed, and the runner will go, and the throw not in time, so a runner on second with 2 outs. That's Katie McKinnon, pinch running for Weeks, makes her way to second.
I mean, she got a good jump on that ball. Anderson really never had a shot at throwing her out because by the time she was throwing it, Mackenzie was already there, basically.
McKinnon, a sophomore, but her first year with the Ottumwa program. There's a 1-2 here for Caldwell. That one high and inside for ball number 2.
With the two strikes right now, I feel like Greener's going a little too hard for the strikeout. I think if she can just bring it in and force a protective swing, that would fare pretty well for her.
There was a bit of a protective swing that time for Caldwell's. That one, she got a bit under and clipped it over the press box here.
Yeah, let's say she hits that one fair. That's just a easy pop-up for one of your infielders, which is why, finding the zone with 2 strikes would work out so good for her.
2-2 is inside, so the count full for Hunter Caldwell. Payoff pitch. Swung on and popped up toward space between first and second and caught in Washington. Getting out of that inning. We'll go to the bottom of the third here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network. Tied at 1 between Washington and Ottumwa.
Here at the Morning Breath, we start every morning with style and grace.
Give me a
Engaging you with thoughtful and critically thinking topics to start your day.
Do you know that Pop-Tarts are horrible for you?
While always maintaining a professional and family-friendly environment.
John, you're no longer a virgin.
Oh, and all the other stuff.
Wow, version.
Yes.
We talk on all over the world.
Out of There's another word for that, Peter. What do we call that? Cold.
Cold. It is cold. It's going to get
weekdays at 7:15, only on the Southeast Iowa Video Network Facebook and YouTube page.
At Washington Lumber and Home Center, our extensive knowledge, great pricing, and a long list of local installation experts, you are guaranteed to get the service you deserve with the quality you should expect. Washington Lumber and Home Center, your local place for great results.
Welcome back to Washington softball field, where it is still 1-1 here to start the bottom of the third between the Demons of Washington and the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Washington managing to get out of that inning. A couple of runners stranded for Ottumwa. It's Olivia Anderson coming back up for her second plate appearance. Drove in a run in the first inning. The only run so far for Washington. Olivia Anderson having herself a good senior season so far, leading this Washington team in hits coming in, keeping that momentum going, Joel, for this Demon side.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want from your fourth hole hitter. Clean up bat. The ability to bring in runs is key.
Is outside for a ball, so an early hitter's count here for the cleanup hitter. Anderson has been a good player for Washington for some time now. Two seasons ago, had 24 hits to her name, started 35 games as she lifts that one in toward right, but it'll be caught by Mason out there in right field.
Demons keep hitting it to the right side, and unfortunately for them, the Bulldogs have some really strong fielders out there, including Mason, and they've been making the plays to keep the Demons off the board.
First pitch chopped toward third, and out number 2 quickly for the Bulldogs. Running out that time, Bella Salazar.
Now batting for 19, Hallie Cuddyback, your left fielder.
So quick 2 outs for the Bulldogs, and Hallie Cuddyback will come up for her second at-bat of the game, walked in the first inning.
This is pretty much a dream scenario for Ottumwa. I mean, Thompson's kind of struggled to get through the first 2 innings pretty cleanly, and you know what you really needed to get back on pace is just a nice, efficient inning. And, I mean, she's already right there. She has not thrown too many pitches here in the third, and she's already gotten a quick 2 outs.
Cuddyback swings and misses at that one, and you're right. It feels like Thompson is gaining control as a pitcher as this game has gone on, getting more comfortable here in a road environment for Ottumwa. I mentioned this team hasn't played a home game yet. Been on the road to start this early season for a doubleheader away for their first one, and back again. They'll be back at home on Monday, but you're right. I think Thompson seems a little bit settled here as this third inning is gone.
They're traveling all the way around Iowa, too. I mean, they were just in Des Moines the other day. Now they're out here in eastern Iowa. It's not like they're hanging around the same area. They got to make a lot of trips in either direction.
Hung up 12 runs and 11 runs in a doubleheader against Des Moines East just yesterday, and you're right, having to log some miles, see the sights of Iowa on their road trips to start this early season.
Yeah, they get to see who's growing corn the best.
Count is full. Payoff pitch coming. Swung on and missed in a 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldogs as Cuddyback strikes out. We will go to the 4th inning on the other side here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network.
My name is Levi Lyle. I have lived in Kyoto my entire life, but I've been an organic farmer for about a decade. Truly, the reason to do business locally is because of the joy and fulfillment that comes in relationships. Coming to Professional Proteins is an opportunity to work with good people.
At Wolf Floral, you'll find everything you need to spruce up your summer. Located on the southeast corner of the Washington Square, we've got you covered from small gift items to the finest floral arrangements around. Wolf Floral, unique by choice, not by chance.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
At Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction, we provide everything from design to complete installation of your kitchen cabinets. For small town service with competitive prices, Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction are here for you.
Welcome back to Washington softball field, where we have arrived at the top of the fourth, and Lexi Ferguson leading things off for Ottumwa after a 1-2-3 inning to end the third. Still knotted up at 1. Washington got things started in the bottom of the first quickly with a run before Ottumwa equalized in the second inning, driving in one of their own. So nothing separating these two teams, really. Both pitchers fairly dialed in.
Yeah, they both had like kind of the opposite game, you know. Griner started out really efficient, really dominant, and then now she's kind of losing that control she had in the first inning, getting deep into counts. On the opposite side, Thompson was getting deep into counts, allowing some contact those first 2 innings. And the last inning, I mean, we just saw 3 up, 3 down, a quick, clean bottom half.
Both teams have stranded their fair bit of runners, but there is a strikeout that time for Colby Griner.
Now batting left fielder number 42.
That's what the Demons are more used to seeing out of Griner. Just pound in the zone. No need to get a batter to chase. Just make him swing and miss at something in the zone. Force him to swing it. That's where she's going to win this game for the Demons.
Cami pulls up for the Bulldogs. Walked at her in her first at bat in the second.
Yeah, that walk in the second, that put runners on the corners for the Bulldogs, and that's really what put the pressure on Griner to deliver big pitches. But, you know, the batter up next, she was the one who drove in the run, and just a couple of mistakes out there in the circle.
Yeah, that was Brianna Griffiths, the catcher, will come up next. So that one's popped straight up toward the seats behind Washington Softball Stadium. You can see on the broadcast, full house here tonight. Thank everyone watching it along as well on the Southeast Iowa Video Network. As a 1-2 with 1 out coming here to Cami Poles. Swung on and missed, and a strike 3 called, and 2 quick outs here for Colby Griner.
Already got 7 strikeouts today. I mean, what a start so far.
Yeah, Griner has been absolutely dialed in. Pitched, of course, as a freshman last season, went 6-4 and 10 appearances in the circle, and is only improving in her second year with this Washington program as a first strike called that time to Griffiths, who, like I mentioned, got that RBI single in the second for Ottumwa's only run of the game, but now has to work with empty bases and 2 outs. That one in for a ball. It's 1-1.
All right, so far this inning, we haven't seen her completely lose control out there. She hasn't thrown the 3 balls in an at-bat yet. Right there, just missing inside. Just got to bring it in slightly. I mean, that was probably a 50-50 call right there.
So 2-1 to Griffiths. Another one inside, so there is ball 3 in this at-bat, and like you mentioned, that's two pitches back-to-back there, kind of painting the inside there, trying to go inside, but just a bit too far, and Griner trying to regain control. That one in there for strike number 2, so a good response after 2 quick balls and a full count, chance to get out of this inning quickly. Here, the Demons.
Yeah, I mean, she's been really pitching well at the top of the zone, so go right back to her, right where she's confident.
Payoff pitch to Griffiths is hit hard down the third base line, but foul.
That one's just left a little bit too much over the plate. Kind of right down the middle. It kind of looked like she was going more for a strike up top, but just hung it there. Lucky that went foul. That could have caused some issues for this Demon defense.
Second payoff pitch here is high, and ball 4 called, and that one might have looked like it dropped in. Nothing doing from the umpire that time, though, and Griffiths will take her base, so an opportunity for Ottumwa with 2 outs, and Avery Frankie, the center fielder, up. Struck out at her last at-bat. First one inside, that one called a strike.
Great bounce back there. When you get a ball, you throw like that just misses by a couple of inches, that can easily send you into a spiral. And if you can't control your emotions out there in the circle, that can cause some issues for the rest of the inning. But no, Grinder's coming out here, throwing 2 strikes, and here she is, 1 away from ending the inning.
Second pitch to the opposite side of the zone, and it's 0-2 suddenly for Avery Frankie. Pitch comes, swung on and missed, and just like that, Griner, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and we will go to the bottom of the 4th here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network, still tied at 1 between Washington and Ottumwa.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation, Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Welcome back to Washington Softball Stadium, where we've arrived at the bottom of the 4th in a bit of a pitcher's duel, at the very least, a little bit of a lack of offense between the Demons and the Ottumwa Bulldogs, and it is that pitching for Washington that has helped them so far. A couple of scoreless innings after Ottumwa was able to add its first of the game in the second, and it has been Colby Griner, the pitcher for Washington, Joel, who has done a really good job. 8 strikeouts already for Washington. What has impressed you about her so far here this evening in the first, of course, of a doubleheader between these 2 teams?
Yeah, I mean, just her ability to pitch deep in the counts and miss the bats. You can see a lot of pitchers allow some base hits when it's a full count, go for the walk, but no, she's been really dialed when she gets 3 balls on a batter at throwing the strikes. And I think last inning she kind of figured it out with 2 strikes to just pound the zone. She was trying to get the batters to chase a little bit, and the Bulldogs weren't really budging in the first couple of innings, but now I think she's realized if she just goes right at the zone, she's going to get some swings and misses because she's got the stuff to miss bats.
Natalie Hartman, the third baseman, up to start the bottom of the 4th for Washington. So that one misses high. It's a 1-1 count to her. Addie Thompson still dealing in the circle. 2 strikeouts to her name so far. Pair of sophomores pitching in this first, as I mentioned, of a doubleheader. We'll be right back at it here after this game concludes for Washington Ottumwa Part 2. Might have to come up with maybe a more cinematic title. I don't know, some sort of sequel, but
the second duel.
Yeah, we'll workshop that as we go. 1-2 inside, and an early 3rd strikeout of the game for Thompson.
Third strikeout for Thompson, but they've all been swinging. So these Demon bats have been swinging away, and this is a talented lineup up and down. Like all 9 spots, they can swing the bat well and they can put the ball in play.
This is a Demon team, like you mentioned, that takes a lot of pride in its offense and certainly doesn't feel like it'll be dormant for long, though. It'll be 3 straight scoreless innings if they don't put up a run in the bottom of the 4th here as the 8th grader Kayla Gertis comes up and chops that one foul, so an early 0-2 count for her, grounded out in the 2nd inning for her first at-bat. The 0-2 to Gertis is high for ball number 1.
That's a really good take right there by the 8th grader. You get a ball about chest high, it looks really good coming out of the hand, and the rise ball will just keep moving up, and she does a good job noticing how the ball is moving.
That one rolled toward third. A tough play is able to be made. In the second out of the game. Nice throw there by Ferguson.
Yeah, and almost even better scoop out there by the first baseman, Hunter Caldwell. I mean, that ball's in the dirt. Could easily be trouble. She does a good job sticking with it, getting that glove right where the ball's going to be and squeezing it once the ball gets in the glove and holding on for the out.